Today we will be jumping into a horror game called The Caregiver. A psychological horror about being a caregiver. It's got this old school VHS film look and feel to it. It feels very B-grade horror, but enough with the chit chat, let's go. We start off playing as Tomita Sachi. We are Sachi-san, a nurse, tasked with taking care of a hospice patient named Suichi. We start off in the cafeteria where I have trouble interacting with objects in the world. Don't worry, I'm not that dumb. We silently judge our co-worker before heading off further into the hospital. I find my bundle bag and fondle the sliding doors of the medicine cabinet. Heading to the exit of the hospital, I am told that it's time and that I need to hurry. I don't know what about, but I'm not in a hurry enough since I have a chat with another nurse named Risako. We talk a bit more smack about the sleeping girl and head out to Suichi's place. I try to use the vehicle, but apparently I can't afford one and I have to take the bicycle. I guess not. Walking it is. Is this where I get isekai'd? Walking through the streets, I try some breaking and entering, but decide against it. Heading further into the streets, I am fervently told that this is not the right way. Going back, I take the mountain path and freak out at a tree root that looks like a person passed out. Finding this old house, I assume this is Suichi's place. Before entering, I check to see if there's any post I can steal. Unfortunately, nothing. Exploring the house, the only thing of note is this cloth, and no one to be found.
What the fuck was that?
Jeez. Suichi, you weren't there before, you creepy fuck. After pissing myself along with Suichi, we clean up and I go exploring a bit more. Why is there so much trash in this damn house? Heading upstairs, I head into a cutscene, where we see this Resident Evil scene and I can only assume that we pass out. The next day. I guess we are done with Sachi. I am now the all-powerful, emotionless Naomi-chan. I read some notes on old man Suichi. It doesn't say he can teleport, however. I grab my bag and head to Risako and have a quick chat with her. Heading to Suichi's, I meet a monk who tells me I have a good soul. I thank him and I follow the way. Finally back at Suichi's, I head inside. I do the daily as I come across a torch. It's the light of my life. I find Suichi vibing in the dark, when we are so rudely interrupted by the loudest TV in the world. Interrupted again, this time by a raven with a paperclip in its beak. Heading out, I loot the body of the raven. Using my criminal background, I pick the lock to this lockbox and pick up the shed key. In the shed, I find a grotesque garden hoe, and using it for a bit of light tomfoolery, I remove the ladder to the neighbors. Taking the ladder inside, I head into the attic to find a stool. Don't know why we need it when we had a ladder. It has like multiple functions. But I digress. Heading outside, I use the step ladder and a stick to achieve my lifelong goal of poking a plank. Access to the bathroom achieved. Suichi is still chilling outside, so I take him in for a nice warm bath. Some knocking comes from the outside. I head to take a look and find a package for delivery. Next, putting Suichi to bed. Check. Well, I don't like that noise. Oh look, some creep in the doorway. Next day. I tell Risako-san that the dude and his family are freaky AF. She instructs me to read Sachi's diary and learn all her secrets. After being a teenage girl, I head to see Sachi at her apartment, where I play rock paper scissors with some guy from the future. After I throw hands with the man, he wants some morphine. Helping myself to some and sharing with him, I pay the man and head up to see Sachi. Checking up on Sachi, I make her some green tea and wait for the world's quietest kettle to boil. Asking Sachi about his Suichi and his family, we are thrown out of her apartment. Leaving the building, we hear a scream, and PSA, don't kill yourselves, even if you're being stalked by a raven. Next day, I am to head back to Suichi's in the pouring rain, sprinting my way back there in the rain.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
I enter the house and immediately steal his car jack crank, and go looking for Suichi. Instead, I find some rats and a mattress full of blood holding a van key. Opening the van in the yard, I pick up the rest of the car jack. Heading upstairs, I force open the jam doors using my criminal skills that I've acquired over the years. I find Gordon Freeman's crowbar and a bloody note, telling me the floor is evil. I rip open its tatami mat on the ground floor, revealing underground caverns. I decide hanging out in the darkness isn't for me, and head for the nearest light source. Greeted by a weird warding work area of totally tumultuous tango rituals, I find a note revealing how to ward off the evil. 4 clocks with 4 answers. I meet Grandma, who has a slight balding issue, and head back upstairs, while she sinks wildly at me with a kitchen knife of carnivorous cantankerous cuts. Doing a relay back and forth to ward off Grandma and her Gordon Ramsay knife. I eventually put all the clocks to the right time, which unlocks a box in the lounge area. I scuttle over and pick up the ritual dagger. Back into the dank, dark, dangerous destitute caverns, where I stab the tango guy to find out it's actually Suichi. Resting Suichi on the floor, he tells me about how the Raven Spirit has coerced his wife back, but she has to kill the one she loves the most. He hands me the scissors and tells me what to do to get rid of the spirit. I head back upstairs and open the altar covered in red strings. I pick up the box and try to make a break for it. Unfortunately, the Karasu Tenko was waiting for me. He does some crazy gadgets and traps us in a loop. Me being the genius that I am, I don't even take the time to admire the scenery before sprinting through every door possible, running in circles and eating nearly every door. I run so fast I think I break the game, as blinding blue boxes blur my vision, but ultimately takes me outdoors. Finally escaping the house, I take the box to the temple, where me and my monk friend buried in the yard and pray for the couple. A few days later, Suichi and I go to visit his wife's graves, to pay our respects. This is what follows. He never died. Thanks for watching everyone. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe because that would be awesome. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the dead bite.